Okay, let's try this again. Let's show off my Orc Era Boys 3rd edition era. I just finished up Orc Archer, the Harboth Boys. Finished that unit off just recently, and then I have this older unit of Crossbow Orcs. I finished these guys up about 5 years ago. So I thought I'd take a look at them. Let's start with the crossbow guys. Oops. Do it without breaking anything. So, of course, in 3rd edition, Orc Era Boys could take crossbows as an upgrade. And I've got 32 of them. And about 9, there were, I think, C-Series. C-Series Orcs. They had about 9 crossbow Orcs that came with plastic crossbows. I should have at least one of each of them. Bring them out. I'm probably going to miss a few, but we'll get the funner ones. Yeah, some of them. There's one I only have one of, which might be this one here. I only have one of that guy. And I ran out of crossbows, so I used some dwarf crossbows. And all of them have bowstrings, so I used threads to string the bows. Probably overkill. Probably shouldn't have done that. But what the heck. Yeah, so these were... Most of these models are from that 3rd edition, and then I have a few others. A couple others. So this guy here is a pre-slotted based orc, so he's more 1st or 2nd edition, a little older. But don't underestimate the pre-slotted orcs. They are just as good as the later orcs. So I think most of these would have been sculpted by Kevin Adams. This one I'm not sure. That could be a Perry Brothers. I use him. He's up in the front rank. He's got their sergeant, 2nd in command, champion, whatever you want to call him. Just because I like him. Very cool models. All is dripping with chainmail and scale mail. And then another one. This is a D&D orc. So let's put back when Games Workshop held the AD&D line miniatures. And he's alright. It's a nice break from the rest of them. And we got their command models. Pay to toll or else. There's a story behind that. I think in my little headcanon, these guys kind of guard the valley that my orcs live in. But anybody can enter. You just gotta pay the toll. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Except for hobbits. No hobbits. The boss here, don't know that this will always be the boss. Always be their command model. He's just, for now, he's just not my favorite model. My idea though is he's got the whip. Running a crossbow takes a little bit more brain power, so he's got to kind of keeps them in shape, keeps them on task, work their crossbows. But the model itself is kind of odd. He's actually the captain of the, comes with the little crossbow, or not, little catapult. It came out in the later 80s. Little rock thrower. But with the big shoulder pads that he's got, and kind of like the lacing on the boots, he's just kind of more 40k rogue trader looking, like as if he was meant to be a space orc, and then at the last minute they threw him in as a fantasy orc. Huh? I have 2 or 3 others of this model, and actually I used to use them as a run third in my rogue trader army, orc army. And then the musician. And I'm a proud owner of a very large crossbow unit. Be nice if the crossbows, I think, were only relegated to 3rd edition. After that, the orcs lost the use of them, which is too bad. Should bring it back. Flyby. Yeah, let's say painted these guys about 5 years ago. Most of them at any rate. So I didn't. The skin contrast, the contrast on the skin tones isn't as deep as what I would like them to be, but they are done, and I'm happy with them. Let's go on to the Harboth boys. Here we go. With Harboth's Orc boys. This was all these are from the box set. Came out mid-80s, mid-late 80s. I tried to copy the standard to look like it does on the artwork and the box art. I put a little arrow through the, what do you call that, zombie's head. Just so everybody knows what kind of business these guys are in. There's 9 or 10 different models that you could have gotten in the box set. And I've got all but one. There's one variation of, I think, this guy who has kind of a cleft chin. I don't have him. And then I only have one. This one, I believe. And yeah, so you have guys in armor. You've got guys with the shield on their arm. Then you have guys with pulling the arrows out of off their backs. Yeah, like I said, there's about 9 of that. So there's about 9 that you could have gotten, 9 or 10 that could have possibility that you could have gotten with the box set. And then out of the box, there were still more. So these guys I haven't painted yet. Excuse me while I put it in place. So these are all variations of this guy again. So they got quite a bit of use out of the original armature, I guess you call it. This one's got a top knot, this one's got a helmet, this one's got an eye patch. But generally the same model as this. That's this guy. Yes, and then of course these bases here. It's kind of an odd. Harboth boys and the Rugla Spike Can Commandos, as they're called. They came with these kind of bases where you can put multiple guys on it. And judging from the pictures, the idea was you could take them off as You can pop them out and you take off casualties, maybe. But of course you can't do that because once they're glued in, you can see they're beveled like you can only go in from the bottom. You can't pull them out. So once the model is in there, he's in there. That's it. You can't pop them out unless you don't glue them to the bait. Don't glue them, but then they of course they flop around. So I'm not sure what the idea was, other than it's, you know, you can, for movement, you can have 3 guys on a base. Although for casualties, that's a pain. I think it was an idea that went south. Didn't work out. Let's go. Let's take a look at the command guys here. There's the standard bearer. And again, I tried to copy the artwork from the box. There's the second rendition of Harboth. I also have an original in the first, second edition era. Before they picked up arrows, they were actually just regular troopers. And this is what this is the original Harboth, looking pretty badass there. It's staring you down. And again, it's very good. It's a nice, hefty model. Just as good as anything that came later. Maybe better. Yeah, it's a nice model. And then their musician, and then I have their champion Yaxton for it, which I don't generally use in the unit. I've been more like used to playing 6th edition in that, where you don't really have too much of a champion. But if I need them, I've got them. If I play 3rd edition and I want to use the original Harboth Regiment of Renown, got a Yaxton for it. So that is my Orc archers. These guys are, I think, a little nice and better painted than the crossbow guys, only because they're some newer techniques used with army builder watches. Alright, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.